21. DOGE. That's DOGE employees resign in protest against Elon Musk and DOGE. Because there's been a lot of things happening, especially how we have people like even Ro Khanna mentioning that DOGE isn't going after defense spending, though I find it interesting now that Ro Khanna is speaking out, as well as Donald Trump discussing with federal workers, or not Donald Trump, but DOGE and Elon Musk discussing with federal workers to comply with the email demands to justify their job. 5 PowerPoints. What did you do today? What did you do today? What did you do today? Well, let's go ahead and first play this video here about the DOGE employees resigning. Shout out to Case Study QB. Be sure to follow him on all of his social media. He does a lot of great work.
And I think it's worth talking about Susie Wiles, the chief of staff. Why? She just received earlier today a letter, we are now learning, from 21 employees of the U.S. Digital Service. Now, folks will recall that that unit inside the executive office of the president is what President Trump in his executive order turned into DOGE. It went from the U.S. Digital Service to the DOGE unit, and 21 of the individuals who had been working inside of that very unit, in a letter to Susie Wiles, the chief of staff to the president today, announcing their resignations. I want to let you look at part of the letter in which they write, quote, "We will not use our skills as technologists to compromise core government systems, jeopardize American sensitive data, or dismantle critical public services. We will not lend our expertise to carry out or legitimize DOGE's actions. The sudden loss of their technology expertise makes critical systems and Americans' data less safe." And so this is coming after probationary employees who were already let go from that unit, further consolidating the power structure and dynamic within DOGE around Elon Musk and the specific individuals who he brought in from outside of the administration to join this effort. Susie Wiles, much like during the campaign, we have heard very little from. She was not a public, outward-facing spokesperson for his 2024 presidential campaign. And so it's not clear exactly behind the scenes the extent to which she is wading into this. But so far, we have seen President Trump, not only during the transition, but now in the first month and a half of this administration, cede a great power to Elon Musk to go forward with the types of cuts that he sees fit. And in this situation, it's a matter of whether the secretaries and whether the agency heads will follow suit with the demands of Elon Musk.
So there's a lot of concern about the powers that DOGE is having. And look, for the most part, I find it interesting and concerning, as all of us should, in regards to the access of this unofficial agency that has the blessing and approval of Donald Trump. Yes, it's revealing corruption and abuse and waste, and it's unveiling so many secrets and so many lies and so much of abuse. But I think we're finally getting the confirmation of, yeah, it turns out our money, our hard-earned money, our U.S. Treasury, our resources have been going into frivolous, pointless projects and interventions overseas or other wasteful things that could have been spent on the American people. I mean, if that's a bridge too far, I'm sorry if it offends anybody, but, USAID as well as other things revealed by DOGE should be definitely called out. But another thing, too, is that, remember, this is the United States government we're talking about. Money gets reallocated anywhere. And as I've pointed out, be it Democrat or Republican, no matter who sits on the chair, their donors are going to have the final say. The only difference is if Kamala got in, her corporate donors, her billionaire donors, would have been more hush-hush about everything, using the federal government to hide and, move around in the background. That's what would have happened. Elon Musk and Trump, they're out there in the open. But it is fascinating to see that there are people who are willing to resign from DOGE, who have called into question perhaps their moral compass became active. I'm not really expecting much to happen, nor am I really expecting DOGE to go after the Pentagon. If it does, that will be a sight to see, and it'll be a sight to witness. Because even row your boat, Ro Khanna, and before we go any further, yes, I'm not expecting Ro Khanna to do anything. But sometimes a broken clock could be right twice a day. Is DOGE going after the Defense Department?
This is what's so frustrating. They're not going after any of the big ticket items, the subsidies to fossil fuel companies, the Pentagon budget with the 5 prime contractors.
Hegseth did say he wanted to cut that by 8%.
Yeah, and he said he wants to reinvest it in the other parts of the department so that the top line doesn't go down. It's all smoke and mirrors. They're not going after Medicare Advantage fraud. They're not going after prescription drugs that are costing the government money.
So Congressman, if I can interrupt.
Yeah.
I hear everything you're saying. And some of it I actually agree with. How come Democrats haven't presented an alternative plan?
We have. Senator Warren has. I have.
And not you and not Senator Warren, but the leadership of the Democratic Party. I haven't seen a plan from Hakeem Jeffries. I haven't seen a plan from Chuck Schumer. I have not seen a plan from the leadership of the party saying, look, we recognize that we have to have cuts. We recognize that government is bloated. Let us present the Democratic plan to work with the president, to work with Republicans, to do what's in the best interest of the American people.
I've known Elon for 15 years. When he got appointed, I said, I'm willing to work on substantive cuts. Senator Warren said that. Senator Sanders said that. Senator Fetterman said that. Many of us said that. But we didn't expect him in 1 month to take the attitude he took to Twitter, to the federal government, where you have this Valentine's Day massacre and Trump voters are out there saying, I don't know how we just lost our jobs, and had no notice. And he's engaged in no conversation with Congress. You know, the irony is, if he's so confident.
Yes. Hey, by the way, have you noticed the tone of Democrats? Just wanted to play on just a little bit longer before I pause. Notice how boastful they are, how loud they are, how challenging they are. It's because now the president isn't a Democrat. They can't make fun of Biden. They can't challenge Biden because, oh no, party unity is key. Party unity is going to be key for the Democrats, right? But now they got their new marching orders to yell and scream on CNN. Look, you got, Caitlin Collins there. The source was Caitlin Collins. I hope the show stays on because CNN and MSNBC are hemorrhaging views and they're laying people off. Heaven forbid something happens. But you got Ro Khanna now saying, oh, this is happening, and he's not doing this, and he's not doing that. If Elon Musk and DOGE go after the Pentagon and try and get to do an audit, I think a lot of secrets and lies will be revealed. Hey, folks, has the Pentagon ever done a successful audit? Type 1 for, well, gee, kid, they had to have, right? Type 2, are you serious? No, they haven't. I wonder how many 2s will be in the chat.
And what he's doing, why doesn't he come to Congress and present it to the American people?
We're going to talk about that coming up, as I'll let you guys debate who has a real job or not. Congressman Ro Khanna, Shermichael Singleton, thank you both for being.
Neither of them have a real job, all right? There, I'm saying this. But also there is a concern about these emails that Elon Musk wants from all federal employees. Now, I know a couple of people who work for the, have federal jobs and all this kind of stuff. And I got to tell you, folks, give me a PowerPoint plan of what you've done. Tell me now.
Welcome. With the clock ticking and their government jobs potential.
By the way, Lester Holt will be soon out at MSNBC or NBC very soon. So, folks, this might be the last video of seeing good old Lester.
On the line, many federal workers tonight are feeling like they are left in an uncomfortable squeeze between Elon Musk and leaders of some of the agencies that he's looking to downsize. Hours before a self-imposed deadline, the Trump administration now says its controversial directive over the weekend asking federal workers to list their accomplishments is voluntary. But President Trump is calling the idea genius and doubling down in his support for the billionaire advisor as affected workers try to sort through conflicting instructions. Gabe Gutierrez has late details.
Helping Ukraine. Tonight, just hours from a looming deadline, President Trump is defending an ultimatum from billionaire Elon Musk aimed at slashing the federal bureaucracy.
There was a lot of genius in sending it.
But there are also new.
Jesus Christ. Oh, there's a lot of genius in sending it. I hear you. Come on. No, just give me an email of what you did. No, because chances are there's still projects in the works. Like, hey, we're still waiting for this.
Signs of a potential power struggle within the administration over how to carry out the president's campaign promise to downsize the government. Musk, who heads the administration's Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, posted on X over the weekend that federal workers needed to explain what they got done this week, saying he was acting on the president's instructions, adding failure to respond will be taken as a resignation. Then the Office of Personnel Management sent an email to more than 2 million federal workers titled, "What did you do last week?" It asked those workers to respond by midnight tonight with 5 bullet points detailing what they accomplished.
What he's doing is saying, are you actually working? And then if you don't answer, like you're sort of semi-fired or you're fired, if people don't respond, it's very possible that there is no such person or they're not working.
But late today, the Trump administration changed course, telling heads of federal agencies responding was voluntary and that a non-response to the email does not equate to a resignation.
See, now there's confusion here. There's confusion here. First it was mandatory, now it's voluntary. No. Enough of the mixed signals, because there's a lot of people who work for the federal government, who do various types of jobs, okay? Be it from administrative to other forms of bureaucracy. And look, I got my criticisms of the whole entire system. But if you're going to be saying mandatory, then voluntary, people are kind of concerned about, well, gee, where do we go next? There's no clear answer. If you can't give us a clear answer, then what comes next? It also calls into question again, okay, if DOGE is doing this, and again, it's not an official agency, and then in turn, it's given access to a lot of sensitive information, there really isn't a clear order here. And while I am laughing at the fact that, a lot of corruption was called out, and you have a lot of Democrats screaming, saying, no, this shouldn't happen, when they all knew about the corruption. And then you have the Republican lawmakers also saying, I can't believe this corruption was going on. No, they knew about the corruption. They knew about the abuse of money.
Still, 3 sources with knowledge of the process tell NBC News the bullet points from those who do respond will be fed into an advanced AI system to determine whether someone's work is mission critical or not. There had been growing confusion after some agency heads, including Trump's cabinet picks, issued conflicting guidance to workers. Some agencies, including the state, justice, and defense departments, told employees either to delay responding or not respond at all. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard writing, given the inherently sensitive and classified nature of our work, employees should not respond.
Okay, now you're getting more mixed signals, okay? Because then you got the heads of these various departments who, yes, are in charge of sensitive information. I mean, what do you want someone who works for the Department of National Intelligence say? Well, yeah, so we're me and my crew. I'm watching the show Slow Horses. I find it to be a great show. I didn't know Will Smith wrote it. But what do you want that person to say? Yeah, so me and like 5 field agents were staking out these alleged computer hackers. Yeah, so we also found out that there's an insider within the agency that's giving information to one of our foreign adversaries. More on that. Yeah, so we also found that there's a big, massive drug cartel, that's running illegal weapons and other illicit, dangerous materials over the border. Like, how do people respond to this? You're asking for emails. It doesn't add up.
Today, Trump downplayed any conflict.
That was done in a friendly manner. Only things such as perhaps Marco at State Department, where they have very confidential things, or the FBI, where they're working on confidential things. And they don't mean that in any way combatively with Elon.
Amid mounting protests, including this upside-down flag at Yosemite National Park, the president and Musk keep slashing the size of the federal workforce, today laying off more than 1,600 foreign aid workers at USAID. In Missouri, Liv Alvarado is among thousands of workers let go from the IRS.
The fact that there's going to be even less workers here now, stuff's going to take even longer. And these were real people with real jobs.
And Gabe joining us now. Gabe, Elon Musk is now responding again to all this.
Yes, Lester, Musk says no AI system was needed. And at the email,
Jacqueline, Jack H. writes, I bet no elected politician is going to receive one of these letters or emails. They are, after all, federal employees, right? Hey, congressman or woman, U.S. senator, what did you do?
Was just meant to make sure workers had a pulse. Also late today, the Department of Health and Human Services warned employees their responses could be read by hostile foreign actors. Lester?
All right, Gabe, thank you.
Say with me, folks, what could possibly go wrong? But all in all, the lack of clear guidance mixed signals. It's going to cause a lot of panic, people hyperventilating, people wondering, oh, what comes next and how are they going to live on? Plus, when you have 21 people from DOGE resign, it's also a sign of perhaps maybe things aren't squeaky clean there as well. Remember, everything might look good on the surface, but if you peel back the layers, you might find some rot. I am ever hopeful that perhaps things aren't going to get as bad as people are hyping it up to be. But 21 people resigning from DOGE is a sign that perhaps there's some things going on that's making people feel uncomfortable or they don't really agree with. Washington, D.C., the most corrupt city in the union. It's number one. Take it away, then Chicago gets that heavyweight championship title. That's not a good thing.